a quick live on Feminine Alchemy Network. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe right now because you know I want to keep in touch what's going on. All right, so I want to come back and talk about something build upon the conversation I had yesterday. I was talking about a lot of us don't have an accountability issue. We have a self-trust issue. And I want to share the story because we have the Michael Jackson movie that's coming out this week, and a lot of the press is going on. A lot of old interviews of Michael is coming back up, and on the there's one particular one interview where he was talking about making the Thriller album, and he said during that time, he would look himself in the mirror and tell himself, greatest album of all time, most record breaking selling album. He was in this mirror. He said he would stand direct like a warrior, a hero, and say this to himself every day in the mirror. And what ended up happening? He ended up having it. So what this does, right? A lot of you, it's not that you have an accountability issue. You have a self trust, right? And I've been there before, not trusting myself to believe that I can accomplish said thing that I want to accomplish. And another thing I used to have a problem with is having too many tabs open. So I'm trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do that. But you got to hone in. What Michael Jackson did, he honed in onto one singular thing. So that goes back into what I was saying. You have to hone in onto that one singular thing, and you have to do the same boring things every day. It has to be a consistent. And in order to doing that as a feminine alchemist, right? As an alchemist, you have to be elementally aligned. And that's what Michael was. He was aligned in his mental, his air. He was aligned in the words he was saying. He was aligned in his passion, his drive, because the emotion that he said he had behind that was anger. And for those who don't know why he was angry during this time is because he was not being respected as an adult artist. He wasn't being respected. So he was doing things. So I think by the time Thriller came out, he was what, 23, 24, maybe a 21, 22 when he was recording it. So he's coming out of this time of being in a group with his brothers, being a child singing star, trying to branch out into movies with the WIGS, to branch out to be more considered as an adult, and then had his first album, Off the Wall, which to me personally is his best musical album. Like when you think musicality wise, I think it's his best album. Squirrel. I actually found out one of my favorite songs by there was actually originally a song by Stevie Wonder, and it makes so much sense when you listen to the song. But not to get into that. So first album came out, wasn't respected as the artist that he wanted to be seen as the innovator. So he came in with a vengeance, with a passion, with a defiant, one singular attitude on what this album was. So what I'm here to talk to you all today, and this is what I do. I help you all hone in on your thriller moment. What is your thriller for you, right? You need that one singular focus and you need to hone in on it. A lot, again, it's not about accountability, it's about self trust. Because how many times I've done this, have you started something, but because you wasn't seeing the direct change or the direct impact of what you think something should be, you thwart it. A lot of us have developed a lack of trust of ourselves because we thwarted a lot of our efforts because we didn't see what we thought we wanted to see. And we got caught up in this social media era, this popcorn, got to get it fast, got to get it quick, 30 under 30, 25 under 25, when that is not true. Most people do not find success until after their 40s. Now, does that mean you don't do the work and the groundwork in your teens, 20s, 30s, etc.? No, it means you still do the groundwork, but you have to become singularly focused. But that also goes back to what we built upon yesterday. How much of time are you taking to really get to know yourself and understand your who, what, why, when, right? Because we're too busy because we're comparing ourselves to other people's journey. We're social media age. We're scrolling. We're saying this. We want to do like other people. We see other people what looks like they're living the life you want to live, not knowing any of the elemental factors that got them to where they are. So this is where I am challenging you all today, right? I'm challenging you all to get to your thriller moment. What is the thriller for you in your life? Some of you may be financial sovereignty. Some of you may be building your confidence. Some of you may be getting a new job, a career shift. Some of you may be starting a relationship, a family, whatever your thriller moment is, because you're going to have more of those in life because life is forever evolving, forever growing. You're going to have to hone in and you're going to have to lock in and you have to be elementally aligned in your air, your earth, your fire, and your water. What does that look like? All right. Going back to Michael Jackson, He was aligned with his air, his words, and his thought process. He was aligned with his fire. That was his conviction. That was his passion, his drive. He was aligned in his water. That was his dreaming state. That was the emotion that he had attached to this ideal that he wanted to accomplish. And it was in his earth. That means he was doing the building blocks that gets to it every day. He was in the studio. He was engineering. He was arranging. He was writing. He was doing the work, the added work every single day. What comes to my mind of those who use the tarot, he was the eight of coins. What is the eight of coins? It's the person diligently working on their you got to be honed in on your task. What we do too many times, and I've seen this in my own personal life, and I had to get called out by my mentors, and I've seen it with the women I've worked with, we immediately thwart our mission because we make excuses. Well, my children, well, my person, my spouse, well, my family, well, the people I'm systems I'm connected to. When you become distracted out of that, it's not those external things. It is the internal. It is the lack of self-trust and self-belief. So I'm going to challenge you all for this entirety of the spring, because we're in the fire energy, we're in a fire year. I'm going to challenge you all to every day tell yourself in the mirror, what is it that you're here to accomplish? And a lot of things, I want you guys to be very clear with yourself, right? It's not so much the money that you're trying to strive for. It's not even actually the relationship that you're striving for. What you are striving for is a lifestyle, a feeling. That is the key to manifestation that people miss. It is you have to be aligned in the feeling. What is the emotion that you have to evoke to be aligned with that? Because if you could say it to yourself all day, you could say, I want financial sovereignty. I want to be in a loving relationship. I want to have a career shift and a career move. I want to be this. I want to do this. I want to experience this. Those are great because you got to get your words aligned, but then you got to get your feeling behind it. And you got to say to yourself every day until you believe it. And a lot of you have stopped yourself from dreaming. A lot of you have stopped yourself for even imagining of what that lifestyle can be for you because you're too busy looking at your current and who you are, not realizing it doesn't matter where you start. It's, are you going to continue to process and show up every day? So for those of you who are needing to have more clarity, because this is where working with someone comes into play, I want you to go ahead and email me and we'll go ahead and discuss to see if I'm even the right person for you, because it's about alignment. Are you aligned with what you say you want to do? And then are you allowing the people who can get you there because they already done it? They've already been where you've been. It is about how are you going to be obedient to your inner voice, to what your voice is telling you? Like, hey, I need to do XYZ and I don't know how to do it. I don't know. I don't have the framework, but somebody who's already done it, who has the framework, then you go to them. And that's where you seek not so much the accountability, right? But this is where you get to the building blocks and the frameworks to build and create and to manifest, right? Because manifesting is more than just saying some words. It is all your elements put together, working together in alignment because they build upon each other. You're elemental beings, babies, and you have to remember that. And the simple fact you being female, being woman, is what puts you into the direct alignment of the Godhead. So let me tell you right now, when I say Godhead, I'm talking about the inner self of spirit, matter, being. Okay. That's what I mean by that. So if that is what you know for yourself, like, hey, I've been saying I want to complete this, I've been saying I want to complete that. We're now in quarter two of the 2026 year of our Lord, as they call it, right? I am now ready to take the next step because you've been doing that work already, that inner work. So if you're already coming to me, you've already been doing that inner processing. Now you need to get to the activation process. And that's where you start to align with teachers and mentors and guidance that gets you to the next step. So you guys can find me on my social sites. I'm here on YouTube, but I'm also Feminine Alchemy Network on Substack, Instagram. So you can actually follow me on there. But I tell you right now, go into my email me, and I want you to email I'm ready, and we'll go ahead and discuss to see if this is what I offer for you is what's going to be the best for you. All right. Have a great one.